Section 18 of Dr. Deane's Way and Other Stories by Fay Huntington and Pansy. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Our Ella. You have never seen our Ella. She is a merry, chattering piece of mischief, just 6 years old. She has a pair of the brightest blue eyes, and a sunny smile lurking about the very rosiest of lips. We all love her very much, and I am afraid that we all pet her more than is for her good. This little girl is very fond of having her mother or cousin Sarah read nice stories and sweet bits of poetry aloud, and she really thinks that it will be a very nice thing to be able to read them for herself. But the truth is, our Ella is quite too fond of her play to learn very fast. Now I will tell you what happened the other day, and what a victory Ella gained. As our little girl is the only child in the house, she cannot be spared to go to school, for what would father and mother do all the long day without their darling? So she reads a lesson, and patient cousin Sarah hears her spelling every day. But sometimes the words are long, or Ella feels a great deal more like play than like study. Then her indulgent mother says, "Well, my darling can have her playtime now and study her lesson by and by." Or, "Tomorrow she will feel more like studying." And so our Ella has come to think that she need not study unless she feels like it. 2 or 3 days ago she had another hard lesson. After she had studied it over a few times, she brought the book to her cousin, who pronounced the words very distinctly. But alas, poor Ella could not spell one of them. "Now," said Sarah, "what shall we do about this?" "I don't know," answered Ella slowly and twisting her fingers. "Are you going to give up? You know the lesson must be learned sometime. It will not be one bit easier tomorrow. Don't you think, Ella, that you had better learn it now and have done with it?" The little girl shook her head. "I don't want to study it now. I want to go out and play." "But, Ella, if you always play instead of learning your lesson, you will never learn to read." "I don't care," and the rosy lips pouted a little. "Mamma'll read to me." "But," replied Sarah, "sometimes your mamma is too busy or has one of her bad headaches and cannot read to you." "Well, I can wait until she gets better," persisted Ella. "I know you can, but wouldn't it be pleasant if you could read to her when she is ill?" "No, because when mamma is sick she can't bear reading. Besides, Cousin Sarah, I never can learn that hard lesson if I tried a week." And the blue eyes filled with tears. "And so you will give up, conquered by a few hard words. You'll never do to belong to a try company." A short pause followed, during which Ella tugged vigorously at her apron string. After watching the workings of the little face a few minutes, Sarah said, "Well, Ella, which shall it be? Will the long words conquer Ella, or will she conquer the long words?" Ella waited a moment, still pulling at the string, which threatened to come off. Then she looked up brightly and said, "I'll try the lesson again, Cousin Sarah." The poor despised speller was picked up from the corner, where, in her despair, Ella had tossed it, and once more the sweet little face was bent over the speller. It was a hard lesson. All that long afternoon she studied. It seemed as though the sun never shone so brightly and the birds never sang so sweetly. And surely little Hattie and Mary Cole never laughed so merrily as they played in the next yard. When Ella suddenly remembered that Hattie had promised to make her dolly a new hat in the very latest style that afternoon, she thought she must go right away and take Dolly over there. But catching an encouraging glance from Cousin Sarah, she did not yield to the temptation, but studied on, until, with a certain air, she carried the book to Sarah and spelled every word correctly. "There," said her cousin, "are you not glad that you persevered?" "I guess I am," and the blue eyes danced with triumph. "But it was very hard. I thought I could not stay in. I almost went 2 or 3 times." Then, after a moment, she asked, "Cousin Sarah, do you ever have to get your lessons over?" Sarah smiled as she patted the rosy cheek, and replied, "I once stayed after school until dark to learn that very lesson." "You!" exclaimed Ella, who looked upon Cousin Sarah as a miracle of learning. "Well," as she went on deliberately, "I am going to stick to it now, and see if I can know as much as you." Now the little round hat was tied over the sunny curls, and Ella skipped away to join her playmates. Do you not believe that she enjoyed her playtime all the better for the victory she had gained? Now I know other little girls, and boys too, who are like Ella. They are afraid of long words. Some, a little older, are afraid of difficult examples in their practical arithmetic, and they say, "I can't do it if I try a week." Oh, fie! Girls and boys, with bright, active brains, will you let a hard lesson conquer you? How many are ready to say, with our Ella, "I'll try the lessons again"? Don't give up. Oh, don't. These little victories are worth gaining, for they prepare the way for greater ones. A boy who always masters his tasks will be sure, when he grows older, to walk over all difficulties straight on to success. Don't give up. End of section 18.